Don't tear it to my spleen if you got it on your screen, off somewhere in that bell jar of a dome. The rampage of the lobbyists who need some from some fists in that distriction of constriction they call home. The House of Representatives votes at home on a laptop computer. They've got a video studio at home. We watch them vote on public access TV, and then we can go protest or congratulate them as they vote from their studio office in their own district. And it'll be on the evening news every time they vote, like Dancing with the Stars, only faster, and some would think hopefully more important. Economy. So this one's the House of Representatives can vote from home. The House can vote from home. In their districts, from offices with a video studio, House members could vote, enter negotiations, caucus, vie for social status, all at home. At home, where constituents can successfully stay in touch with constituents, that's their folks, that's us. They can stay in touch with their elected link to the free world. There is a lot of fun in this concept. I mean, a lot of fun in this concept. I mean, fun. I mean, people can have way fun with this concept. For example, let's say that a vote happens and yes, it would be good for the economy. Here at 021, I guess like anybody else, when I get a chance to editorialize, I got an odd mix of things. I believe that life begins way before conception most of the time. My unique opinion that I tell my representative. So life beginning before conception, when you have an abortion, what I would call a legal one, you're killing somebody. So basically my opinion is it's the woman's right between herself and the universe to choose until that fetus is a legal person when it's viable by any means that's available. Once it's viable, then it's suddenly murder. Up until then, it's up to the woman and the universe. Way before. I believe it's up until the fetus is viable that you're killing somebody, but it's not murder. More on that later. And so when a vote comes up about women's rights, that's my stance. But I also believe that anything that limits a person's right to defend themselves in their home or even on their person as they walk down the street is an infringement. To the extent that I believe after 1 year, felons of behavior, felons should be able to vote. And then say after 10 years they should get, if in 5 years even, if they weren't violent, if it wasn't a violent crime, if it was something like embezzlement, and if it was something like possession of drugs, that's just nuts. The only thing I think that ought to be criminal about drug use is if they are manufactured poorly or if they are distributed poorly to adults. That's the only thing that ought to be criminal, is if the drugs aren't made well. Okay, all these points of view, I bet I'm not alone in having points of view like these. But the idea that somebody out in that garden of boring temptation in Washington, D.C. is going to represent me. Now, this all changes if they're within an hour and a half drive of me. I might just like cut into the beer budget and go drive down there and show up at one of those protests you see happening in those like great big places where protesters look like they can make a living doing such things.
In the era
House
of
votes
Dancing
from
with the
Home.
Stars, in the era of reality TV, this is the reality TV we can make our own.